Tell me about yourself. Job interview question and answers. Yes, I'm going to give you three different answers. This is about getting you the job offer. So let's go into who's going to benefit from this. The first group of people are going to be college grads and freshers, just people new to the work world. The specific things they have to address because they may not have the experience. Then you have the job or career changers. They're switching, they're moving around, they want something better, they want more money, maybe better benefits. Whatever the reason is, they're looking to switch jobs or careers. And then you have those who are unemployed for whatever reason. And those who chose to leave the work world, but decided, okay, kids are older, or I'm ready to come back to work, and they've been out for a while. So that tell me about yourself question is critical for all three of them. There are tons and tons and tons of interview questions. I'm just targeting tell me about yourself in this video. In future videos, I'll go over other questions. So we're going to start with the basics. I want to sort of guide you on how you're going to answer this question. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a framework, a template that you can take and use as your own. And so it's plug and play, honestly. Like you're going to see in a minute how it's set up. It's very simple. And then you're going to have to improve. What do I mean by improve? After a couple of job interviews, you're going to have to tweak your answer and refine it a little bit more. Like you can't just say the same thing over and over and over. At some point, you're going to have to tweak it, refine it, and get it better. And you'll see as we go through a series of these videos how you're going to be improving your answers. But the other thing is you're going to have to add something extra. Think about the new knowledge, skills, and experience that you have. Start incorporating that into your answer. This is the foundation. You're going to be building on answering interview questions. There are so many strategies, so many techniques. When I work with people one-on-one, I share with them exactly what I do. I won't share that here, but this is going to get you started because this template is going to help you. So now, let's talk about tell me about yourself when it comes to college grads and the freshers. So there's a couple of things you're going to talk about. You're going to talk about what have you learned in school and where did you apply it. So I want to stop here for a minute because I want to stress something. It's going to sound minor to you, but it's really, really important. What did you learn in school? This is critical because some people go to school to get a piece of paper, their degree. Don't necessarily apply themselves. Yes, people do that. They figure if I get my degree, I'm going to get some money. I have a whole training on that. I'm not going to touch that here. But I need you to understand that first question is critical because it's what did you learn while you were in school, not what degree did you get. That's important. You're going to see in a minute. Where did you apply what you learned? Now you're getting some hands-on experience. What did you do? What was the outcome? Now, the outcome or your results could be good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, it doesn't matter. You're going to actually do something, fail at it, and learn from it. And that's really what employers want. They want people who have some hands-on experience. It doesn't matter how you got it. They want you to have it. Some real world hands-on experience. And then finally, what did you learn? So you notice the very first one said, what have you learned in school? The final one is, what did you learn based on what you did from applying what you learned in school? So you're learning twice, the initial learning in school, and then when you get that experience, you're also learning from that experience. So let's get to this template. So it says here, I'm a recent graduate from. Now, the areas you see in blue are the areas you would replace with your content. So keep that in mind. So I'm a recent graduate from, put the university here, with the degree in, whatever your degree is, During my studies, I developed strong skills in what are the relevant skills that that job is looking for, and gained practical experience through or doing or whatever it is. Like, you could tweak this. I'm just giving you a framework here. Okay. Whether it's an internship, whether it was a project, you have to put that there. I learned how to. What did you learn how to do? Describe what you bring with you from that experience. What experience? From the internship, from the project, whatever it is you did. I'm passionate about the industry or the field and excited to apply my knowledge in a professional setting. In my free time, I enjoy what's a relevant hobby or activity that you do. And that activity has taught you what? What transferable skill did you learn from that activity? So this is the framework. Let me show you what it looks like when it's completed. I'm a recent graduate from Fordham University with a degree in finance. During my studies, I developed strong skills to analyze complex financial data and market trends. I've gained practical experience at 3 summer internships with JP Morgan Chase, where I assisted in reducing transaction errors from 15% to 8%, saving the company over $1 million in fees. I'm passionate about finance and excited to apply my financial modeling knowledge in a professional setting. In my free time, I enjoy reading and learning more about various financial instruments, markets, and regulations, which has taught me to clearly explain financial concepts to both experts and non-experts. So remember, this is what it looks like when it's completed, and this is what the framework looks like when it's not completed. Okay, so you're going to replace the blue areas with your information, just as I did here. So that's the college grad and that's the fresher. Let's get to the career changes and the job changes. So now, remember, each one has to focus on something different. So what does a career or job changer has to focus on? Well, you have to acknowledge your previous experience. Highlight transferable skills. Explain your motivation for the career change, for the job change. Show the steps you've taken to prepare for this transition, and then express enthusiasm for this new field. Now, I want to stress something here. This last one, as simple as it may seem, enthusiasm, is critical. I wish I can delve into this a little more, but I'm going to say, when you're interviewing, if the person interviewing you doesn't see that you're excited about the role, about the company, why should they hire you? Yes, you're qualified. Yes, you have everything they need. But you're going to learn very quickly that having everything a company needs, it's not enough anymore. You have to fit within the company. There's 6 different types of fit, personally, for you. I'm not going to go over that. I'll create that video. I'll share it with you. So now let's look at the framework for this, for the career changer. So this says, I have X number of years of experience in your previous field where I developed strong skills in. So once again, relevant, transferable skills. Give you some examples: project management, client relations, data analysis. Recently, I've made the decision to transition into what's this new field you want to transition to. Because what's the reason? Give a brief explanation of your motivation. Passion for technology, desire to make a different kind of impact, whatever your reason is. To prepare for this change, what have you done to prepare for this change? Did you take some type of training, online course? Did you do some personal projects that you worked on? Like, you need to stipulate what you have done or doing. I'm excited to bring my unique perspective and diverse skill set to this new field, combining my background in, okay, remember that previous field? Yep, here it is again, with my newly acquired knowledge in, see that new field that was up here? You're going to say it again. So all the blue areas you have to replace with your content. So now what does this look like filled out? Here we go. I have 8 years of experience in nonprofit management, where I developed strong skills in strategic planning, budgeting, and stakeholder management. Recently, I've made the decision to transition into data analytics because of my passion to make informed decisions using data. To prepare for this change, I've completed a data-driven decision-making and Power BI certificate program where I worked on real-world projects. I'm excited to bring my unique perspective and diverse skill set to this new field, combining my background in management with my newly acquired knowledge in data analytics. I want to point something out here. You see it says where I worked on real world projects. Because you're transitioning from one career to another, from one job to another, especially if it's a different industry, you want to have some real world projects. You want to have a project or two that you can talk about that demonstrates you have the knowledge and the skills in this new area that you say you want to transition into. So now, let's get to the unemployed and someone returning to work. So the unemployed, for whatever reason, is unemployed. Those who are returning to work decide, okay, it's time for me to go back to work because they chose to stop working for whatever reason. Doesn't matter what the reason is. So here are the things they have to bring up. Highlight your relevant professional background. Briefly acknowledge the gap without dwelling on it. Show how you've remained active and kept your skills current. And express enthusiasm for returning to work. I want to point out something here. 2 things I want to point out. You notice it says relevant professional background, doesn't say experience. You have to acknowledge the gap. That doesn't mean you have to elaborate on it. You just have to acknowledge there is a gap. And then you want to show how you remained active during that gap and you kept your skills current. Then, of course, as I said before, be excited about returning to work. So let's look at the framework first. I have a background in what's your previous field and industry where I developed strong skills in, there's about 2 to 3 skills relevant to the job. It should always be relevant to the job. For the past few years, this is where you briefly explain your situation. Briefly. During this time, I kept my skills sharp by what did you do to keep your skills sharp? I'm now eager to re-enter the workforce and contribute my skills and fresh perspective to your team. I'm particularly excited about this role because, now this is critical, you're going to mention something specific about the job or the company that caught your attention and got you excited about wanting to apply. Okay, that's important. So let's look at what this looks like. I have a background in customer service where I developed strong skills in problem solving, active listening, and communication. For the past few years, I've been focusing on family issues that have been resolved. During this time, I've kept my skills sharp by getting my Agile Project Management certificate while volunteering at my church, coordinating special programs and activities for the children's ministry. I'm excited and eager to contribute my skills and fresh perspective to this role because it allows me to apply my leadership, conflict resolution, and software proficiency skills. So I want to point out something that I just noted as I'm recording this. You notice it should say issues instead of issued. What most people would do is panic because there's an error. You're going to make errors. You're going to make errors on your job interviews. You're going to make errors on your you're going to make, if you're trying to be perfect and your type of OCD, that's who you are. God bless you. Wish you well. Perfection is not in my book. I get things done. I get things going. You should do the same. Stop trying to be perfect if that's you. Yeah, I made a spelling error. So what? It doesn't change the template. It doesn't change the content or the context. It still works if you work it. But we're going to get to that in a minute. But I just wanted to point that out because people fret over little stuff like that. I don't care. Doesn't matter. It really, it shouldn't matter. You're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes in a lot of areas. Get over it. Do your best not to, but it happens. So don't worry about it. So this is a question I used to get all the time when I did in-person training. Will this still work if everyone used it? First, everyone will not use it. I'm going to be about as direct and honest as I can be. I've been training people to get back to work for almost 40 years now. I'm very close to 40 years. I can honestly tell you there may have been, God, I'm stretching this, there may have been 20 to 30 people per year that actually used what I gave them. Mind you, I've trained over 192,000 people since 2005. And only 20 to 30 people a year actually applied everything that I showed them. Not just some of it, all of it. And I know because they email me or call me, or when I bump into them, they share that with me. That's a low number. So everyone will not use this. Why? Many people will watch, not believe it works, and just don't use it. I don't know why. I'm not going to explain why. I don't understand it. I don't get into the whys. People know you should exercise, but how many people actually follow through? Because exercise is good for you, right? People know they need to eat healthier, but how many people do it? Because they know it's good to eat healthier. People know they should invest for retirement and to pass down generational wealth. But how many people do it? You apply these frameworks and see if it works. I already know they work, but I need you to apply them to see that it works. And remember, we're just talking about one question. Tell me about yourself. There are many other questions you're going to get on an interview, but this one tends to be the one that's most difficult for most people. Now, I offer a job hunt intensive. I'm gathering somewhere between 10 to 15 people that I'm going to work with for 3 months. And the number one goal is to help you get results. What are results? Job offers. Okay? If you're not getting job interviews, you're going to get job interviews. If you're not getting job offers, I'm going to help you get job offers. Okay? The link is in the description, or the link is in the pinned comments. What I will tell you is that this is not for everyone, and you have to apply. I just want to be clear. Just know I am truly and sincerely interested in helping you to achieve your goals. So what I want you to do is, if you have any questions, just type your questions in the comments. I'll respond to it. If there's a question that you're having difficulty answering, type that in the comment too. Just say, hey, I'm having problems answering this question. I will gladly create a video showing you how to answer that question. Take care. You be safe and you stay blessed.